Right, finally, members of the House of Representatives have renewed calls for cheaper domestic airfares, urging relevant government agencies to urgently review cost drivers in the aviation sector. Lawmakers say high operational expenses are being passed on to passengers, while aviation experts blame rising ticket prices on excessive taxation and airport charges, warning that without swift reforms, air travel may remain unaffordable for many Nigerians. Now, Raymond, when you heard about this whole fiasco with the fares, this intervention by the House of Representatives, is it backed by legislation or merely a resolution from your standpoint?
So I don't think it's not backed by resolution. It's not backed by resolution or by legislation.
Okay.
But of course, it is within the remit of the National Assembly to make those kind of calls, because because aviation is a matter under which they can make laws. So the National Assembly can pass resolutions, motions on any subject that they have power to make laws on. So I think this is just the National Assembly demonstrating empathy with Nigerian people and to convey their plight to draw public attention to the situation.
Just to fair me, APIS levy renew a new $11 fee on all international tickets, security charge, passenger service charge, ticket sales charge, common user terminal equipment fee, and all of that. Now, what role can the government play here to ease the burden on passengers? Should they subsidize? Should subsidy be introduced, or get some charges to be cut off?
So first thing is this. First thing is that sector is already deregulated.
The aviation sector?
Yes, it's currently deregulated. They need to do something about that, because deregulation means that you do whatever you like. We don't check you much. We give you free hand so that you can survive. So that's one of the issues.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Second thing is that they need to either give them like tax relief, because if you look at different levies, taxation is already travel to Ghana. Fee to travel to Ghana is sometimes cheaper than trip to travel to Enugu.
So what you're saying is exactly the question I was asking. Should the government now introduce subsidy to a point to ease the burden?
Yes. Whichever type of subsidy they want to introduce is welcome, especially during this festive period. You can imagine somebody traveled, few days ago and spent about over 400, almost 500,000 just traveling to Ekiti and returning back. Come on, we're not going out of the country. How much is even to travel from here to United Kingdom? And everybody have been asking, what exactly is happening? How come these fares are this exorbitant in Nigeria? It's not like that even in neighboring country that's not as big as Nigeria. It's not as expensive as that.
Raymond, do you think aviation sector is taking advantage of the security threat on our roads? And that's why they feel, since people are coming through this route, let's milk them.
Absolutely. That's my position on this subject. That is my position on this subject. The conversation around tax and all of that is just a convenient narrative by these airline operators. Don't get me wrong. I understand the aviation industry is dollarized and, cost of maintenance of aircraft, servicing, and all of that. But then you ask yourself, this morning, I checked the cost of a flight from Enugu to Lagos, and the rate was low, 100 to 110,000. Then I checked from Lagos to Enugu, it's 400,000.
Wow.
So this is not all about, it's not just about taxation, it's about trying to, the typical Nigerian attitude.
Yes.
Oh, 30 December, IGJB are coming in, let us milk them.
Citing this problem, how do you think the House of Reps should really handle this matter? Because it's looking like they're taking advantage of Nigerians, regardless of the taxes you take.
Absolutely.
Local flights should not even be expensive.
Absolutely.
Take for example, people going to do business. You have show hosts like myself.
Yes.
You're calling me to come host a show in Abuja sometime. You're asking me to pay close to 450,000 naira for a flight. How much am I going to be paid there and everything?
One way.
So what do you think can be done right now to check these excesses?
So first, like I said earlier, they have to be regulated, compulsory.
Should there be a state of emergency?
Well, maybe not up to that for now.
Not
because
up
I know
to,
that
you sure?
I know that the FCP is already ongoing some restructuring,
okay, reforms and all of that.
Okay. You understand, on the issue. And the House of Rep has already raised highbrow, and I'm sure they're working on it, because they know that in few days now, people will be traveling, and nobody wants to risk his life on the road.
True.
And if you even say it's 1 million, it will just be like vis-a-vis
those that can afford it to pay.
Yeah, vis-a-vis terrorists capturing me and saying I should pay 50 million. I'd rather pay 1.5 million
for travel.
For travel.
Okay, safely.
You understand? So what I just think is, this issue has been there. It's not just now. It's been there for a while.
Right. Raymond, regardless, we have to wish and hope and believe that the government is doing a lot to control this situation so that we can actually have a headway. But I want to ask this question very straight up. Is there adequate oversight of how airport charges are calculated and spent? Do you think there is proper scrutiny? And that's why we are seeing this whole lot of backlog and wickedness that is spanning around the aviation sector today.
That's a very good question. So I think I listened to the Minister of Aviation, Mr. What's his name now? Festus Keyamo SAN on this subject. And his view was that the issue of aviation, it has to bow to the laws of demand and supply, that government will not directly interfere. So in terms of how prices are being structured and all of that, is a matter for the aviation sector to deal with. But I see government can play a role in a way to, talk to the airline operators and maybe find a way to develop some kind of incentive that can bring down the cost
make life easy.
Like what happened last year in the road transport sector. If you remember last year Christmas, government had to subsidize. So maybe one should look in that direction so that they can significantly bring down the cost a bit.
Finally, just Femi, some are arguing if this is a genuine reform effort or a political grandstanding. Where do you stand in this?
You mean the Airfare?
Yes, the whole intervention that is coming from the House of Rep. Do you think this is a genuine reform call for reform or just a political grandstanding?
I think it's genuine. You know why I think it's genuine? It's because the issue is also pinning them in the shoes. They are also bringing out their money to travel. So they're really feeling
it's hurting them.
They're already feeling. That's why they're coming out and say, "Come, I'm paying so amount for my children to move."
You are just for the.
Yeah, if it doesn't concern. So what I'm saying now is probably we should even increase. If you're a VVIP, you pay more. Then let's use that funds to subsidize the ordinary people.
The other Nigerians.
You see that the prices will come down immediately.
Naturally.
Because they will call who is necessarily needed to be called immediately.
Joseph Femi, thank you so much for your presence on the show. We appreciate you. And of course, Raymond, this is my first time having you here, and of course, you've been quite fantastic.
Thank you.
Raymond Nkanebe, right?
Absolutely.
Nkanebe.
Yes.
I pronounce it well.
Yeah, I'm surprised you did.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
All right. Well,